So, I've now played a good few games of Riftblade. We've done 1v1 of the base game, we've done it with some of the expansions, or at least the expansions that currently exist in some kind of physical media form. I really liked it. There's obvious bones and anatomy similar to many deck building games that you might have come across before. Dominion immediately sprung to mind, especially when it comes to buying a card from the center, adding it into the discard, only to then filter it back through, using the original cards that you start with, getting rid of the ones that are weak in comparison to the others. I think the thing that sets it apart for me, if we're just talking about the base game, is the fact that you are building a radically different deck, or almost always going to be building a radically different deck to your opponent based on what cards do come up. You're not zeroing in on the exact same strategy and just replicating each other. You're actually like going out of your way to kind of create a unique win condition for yourself. I really liked how you had a lot of crossover between Infernal and Chaos. You had crossover between Chaos and Soul. I also enjoyed the fact that Soul and Celestial, the sort of two edges of the arc, as it were, of the attributes, don't cross over with one another. It compartmentalized them into very unique mechanical forms that I thought was interesting. Most games try and do a neat circle, and this one didn't. I think that is an interesting decision. I had a couple of cards that I absolutely loved. The discard mechanic is just brutal. Burning Hex, I think this is a rare card. It's got 3 pips on it. This one, well, the sigil fell over. Anyway, Burning Hex. Burning Hex, one of the favorite cards that I played with. The overcharged aspect of it, where you draw a card and force your opponent to discard 2 cards and deal them 2 damage, is such a massive swing. I also love the fact that when you are forming your new hand, there is always that light variety in, can I chain my stuff together as I intend to, or do I need to adapt? Do I need to discard my overcharged die in order to try and draw a connecting card? Love that mechanic. I think probably my favorite aspect to play with was the Infernal aspect. That's the aspect that has a lot to do with discard. Soul Scorch was an utter menace. Again, the swing that exists with deal 2 damage, gain a life, and force your opponent to discard. Endless fun to be had with this common card, and it's common, so you can just stack your deck with it. And of course, my beloved Void Snap. The buy it, ping, pays for itself. Mwah. I love a cantrip that pretty much when it appears for you and for you alone, you can exploit that to the best of your ability. Adored these cards. We also ended up playing with the expansions. I appreciated the addition of the Weavings cards, which allowed for you to not do what I ended up doing in that game, which is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look for a Weavings card and go, aha, this is how I should propel the deck. I'm going to pick up the Soul Weavings card, and now I'm going to build towards Soul in order to generate mass value out of that engine. What I ended up doing was going, aha, the Soul card. Sure, I've just gotten rid of the 2 base Soul cards that would have made it really useful and easy to pull off, but I like my little skull. So, yeah, that was kind of my logic and process in that particular game, and it did not work out, but I appreciate the sort of hard guiding. It's like when you're drafting cards in many of draft games, you're looking for signal cards. You're looking for the big things that you can then build a structure around, as opposed to Wallace and Gromit style, layering on different things in front of you until you eventually find a good answer. I also love the Void Spawn, my boy Terrence. These cards, I think, having mana towards the mid to end game, you can use the mana to activate cards in the Rift and sort of ping damage through that way. But oftentimes, if you end up with a mass of mana and loads of cards in hand, it can be a little bit difficult to sort of get a ball rolling. These cards allow you to use that mana in order to get huge effects. I think that's my overall summary. Riftblade.